Hello everyone and welcome back to Ecto Training. I am Ecto and I'm here today to talk about a subject that is quite close to my heart. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber and you haven't subscribed, please hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, and welcome to the family. Okay, but we are here to talk about steroids. I've been a natural trainer for about 18 years now. Why do I not take steroids? When I first started training, I was the skinniest kid in school, being tall and lanky. I had those typical beanpole skinny arms. I have watched people I've trained with over the years surpass me by taking steroids, but I haven't just watched their rise, I've watched their fall as well. Now, there's so much research on Google about steroids, there's so many videos on YouTube about steroids, the good, the bad, the in-between. The people who use steroids, of course, they're going to say, unless they're honest, and more honesty is coming about now, they are going to say that steroids are good, that you can use them safely, they have no negative side effects. But recently we've seen a few bodybuilders pass away in 2017, which has made us question the long-term use of steroids and just the use of performance-enhancing drugs in general. Now, two of the really famous deaths in 2017 were Dallas McCarver. He was a bodybuilder I was aware of, a young guy who was just ridiculously big. And one of my favourite YouTubers and bodybuilders, Rich Piana. Now, whether you liked Rich Piana or not, he was a character who was larger than life. One thing I really respected about Rich was he had the balls to come out and say, I've been using steroids for 25 years, since I was a teenager. He was telling you the good points, the bad points, and his advice was not to take steroids unless you are at that elite level of competition that I've said before, when you have to take hormones, because without that you're just going to be in last place. Here's a little clip from Rich that I really like, talking about whether or not you should be taking steroids.
Now, I've been taking steroids for 25 years. I started when I was 18. The reason I started was I was a competitive bodybuilder and I was willing to do whatever it takes to reach my goal. This is not making me look good right here, what I'm saying, but I'm just being honest and I'm being straight and I'm telling people the truth. I'm not telling people to take steroids. I'm not recommending it. In fact, I don't think it's a very good fucking idea to take steroids. You know, if you can stay natural for as long as you can, that's the way to go. You stay natural your whole life, that's the way to go. And my opinion is you should stay natural as long as you can.
Sorry everyone, all that research about steroids and my arms compared to Rich's arms made me feel very inferior. I had to get the top on really quick. So there's lots of other bodybuilders out there. There's bodybuilders like, I've seen clips of Lee Priest. Now, I don't like Lee Priest. I think the guy's an absolute, very English word, the guy's an absolute twat, okay? And a lot of bodybuilders I know who've met Lee Priest have just wanted to smack him. The guy's an arrogant prat, but in my opinion, you might love him. He might be your cousin. If so, I apologise. No, I don't really. Lee Priest has gone on record to say he wishes he never started steroids. I think his last few years he's had to come off due to health reasons and he's lost everything, which is what happens, which is part of the reason I don't juice, because as bodybuilders we all have issues, we all have reasons why we go in the gym. I was shaggy, I've said this story before, you know my issue. I wanted to get strong, I was doing martial arts at the time, I wanted for my punches and kicks to have a lot more behind them. I wanted to build a decent physique, of course I wanted to impress the girls, and I wanted self-confidence. Now, let's take this to the next level. You're on juice, you're huge, you've got your ripped abs, you're feeling great, your confidence is high, your confidence with the girls is high, you're feeling great, your sex drive is through the roof, and you come off. You lose your muscle, your sex drive plummets, I'm going to get into the side effects in a minute, but these are the kind of things that happen. Now let's get into why people take steroids, the pros, and what you can expect when you first start on the gear, and some typical courses that people I know have run, and what people have wanted me to go on for years, but I've always stayed away from the dark side. Okay, so let's get into Some of the reasons why people do take steroids. Now, the first reason is low confidence. People are uneducated. They feel this is the only way to get there, is to take steroids and, you know, all your problems will be fixed. Absolute crap. You've reached your natty potential. Now, that should have happened to me. You know, 18 years of training. Have I reached my natty potential? No. That theory is absolute bullshit. It has to be said. I'm still making gains after 18 years. A quick fix for muscle. It is a quick fix. People don't realise, though, when you come off, you lose your gains. Now, this is debated. People say you can hold on to your gains. Personally, and from what I've seen, you can't hold on to your gains. Number 4, peer pressure. You go in the gym, you're led by others, you don't know what you're doing, and people say, take steroids, this is the answer. This will get you to where you need to get. You will jump on and do what your friends are doing. Sad but true. And also medical reasons. Now, this is the only reason I agree with steroids. Now, the most common prescribed and abused steroid is testosterone. This is given to men who are suffering from erectile problems, sex drive problems, and is testosterone replacement therapy. It's a synthetic hormone, testosterone, that enters your body to raise your testosterone to a normal level. Now, this is a long-term thing. When you go onto testosterone, your natural production, whether it's low to begin with or not, will slow down and eventually stop. And this is why TRT is a long-term solution. But it will make your testicles redundant and they will no longer work and produce testosterone naturally. Now, here's my angle on things. So, testosterone is the most commonly used steroid. In fact, testosterone, I've never known a cycle be used without testosterone. Most of my friends, when they've gone on the steroids for the first time, they run a test-only course to see how their body reacts, and then the second course they may do Deca and test, or they're crazy like Tren and test and D-bol and all these steroid compounds. But the main compound is testosterone. This is why, amongst all the other side effects, which I will touch on a little later in the video, so stay tuned, regardless of all the other side effects that come with steroids, messing around with your hormones, messing around with your, your ability to have children, the fact that your testicles can stop working, which can lead to fertility issues, which can lead to impotence, that is what has personally stopped me. I've come that close over years. I've had friends doing it and they've been on cycle on and off for a couple of years, feeling great. One of my friends was 25, he started steroids at 22. I mean, I've been training for longer than him, and I was so annoyed to watch how quick his gains come. I mean, he had a few issues. He had an estrogen issue where he had bitch tits. I'll go into that later, in case you don't know what bitch tits are. He had that. And apart from that, he took some prescription, he was going absolutely great, and all of a sudden, 25 years old, he has a stroke on me. Not on me, but we're due at the gym, and he phones me and he says, I can't come, I've had a stroke. It was put down to his increased blood pressure from his steroid use. Is that worth it? No. Another quick example I'll give you. This guy, and he might be watching this, I think he actually is one of my subscribers, and if you're watching this, I'm not going to call your name out or say anything personal, but I'm sure you won't mind me using your story as a little example to maybe put someone else off having the same thing that happened to you. Okay, 18 years of age, joins a gym, goes on gear for a year, right? I mean, he cycles off for a couple of weeks. I think 6 weeks he cycled off. He went on Tren, test and all these different things. And he was in the gym. I remember walking in the gym a few weeks before this incident, and he's absolutely great, and he's saying, oh yeah, I'm coming off now for 6 months, me and my girlfriend, we want to try for a child. Okay, great. Basically, the steroid use has rendered him completely infertile. He went online to his girlfriend for like 2 years, oh, we'll have children next year, I'm busy with work, blah, blah, blah. What actually ended up happening was he had to be honest with her and say, look, if you want children by me, we need to adopt. This girl was his childhood sweetheart, the love of his life, and he built the body to keep her because he felt like she was, he's punching above his weight. She was much better than him. So he built this body using steroids to keep her, and that was the thing that cost him his relationship because he could not have children. This was like 6 or 7 years ago this happened. I did see him last year and he looks so ill. He's a heavy drinker now. You know, he doesn't bother anymore about anything because he now knows that he's not going to be able to produce children, and that's something he always wanted. The fact that you'll take a hormone that shuts you down, and you have to take Clomid, I think is one of the things they take, which is meant to kickstart your natural testosterone. But one thing I've researched quite a lot is when you do go on the testosterone, your test levels will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the average of a normal person. And then you come off, and it's common for people who come off steroids to have a week of maybe impotence, no sex drive, while their testicles go back to the normal size and their body starts producing testosterone. But it's very much debated that, I personally think from my research, your test never goes back to a normal level. I'm not a doctor, okay, but let's say your test sits at 250. I don't know the measurements or the blood, you know, it's not my thing. I'm not a steroid user. This is just my experience. Your test is 250. This was how it was explained to me by a GP. Okay, your test is 250. You elevate your levels to 500 or 750. You come off, you take the Clomid, 6 months later, your test is 245. You go back on, do another course, it's 240. Your natural test is always declining because of your steroid use. That is what stops me taking steroids and why I think you should stay natural. Nothing is more important than your fertility, your health, and as a man, if you are impotent, I mean, what is impotent? It's unimportant. That's what impotent is. If you are useless down below, what is the point looking so great? I've always said to people, let's say I'm on steroids, you're a Bugatti Veyron or you're a Lamborghini Gallardo, you're one of these elite cars. I would rather be a BMW M5, nice car, that you can start and drive every day, than a Lamborghini you have to park in the garage because it doesn't work. Okay, other common steroid side effects include acne. Not the nicest side effect. Sometimes when we train, people can be prone to acne anyway. And high blood pressure, which can cause an increased risk of stroke or heart attack. Now, when we're doing it for health reasons, that's not really a good idea. Also, we have male pattern baldness. Now, if you've got a predisposition to male pattern baldness in your family, this will only speed up the process. And as discussed earlier, one of the more disturbing side effects for me anyway is testicular atrophy, when your testicles are using a synthetic testosterone you're putting in and they're not producing, so your testicles shrink to roughly half their size and they shut down and stop producing natural testosterone. I've had friends who have they've had testicular atrophy. It happens at nearly every steroid course when you're taking testosterone. All steroids will shut you down. Even SARMs, which are a really big craze, will shut you down. And the best description I've had from friends who have said it's been like putting 2 marbles in a shopping bag. How horrible. Personally, to reach down and grab testicles that are half the size would make me feel quite ill, but I'm a bit squeamish like that. Another reason I wouldn't take steroids is needles are not my favourite. Okay, coming back on to, as promised, gynecomastia, one of the biggest problems of steroid use in the bodybuilding and one of the most feared side effects. Now, gynecomastia is basically enlarged breast tissue in men. Now, the thing is with gynecomastia, once you've got it, once you've got that fat under the nipples, it's very visible. It can ruin a great physique. You've spent all this money, all these hours, you've took a steroid course, you think you've done everything right, but unless you're getting regularly tested by a GP, even then it's really difficult to regulate your hormones. The only way to get rid of this is through an operation. Now I'll just put up a few pictures of bodybuilders with very obvious gyno. Really not a good look in my opinion. I would rather be skinny and not look like Daisy the cow. That's my personal opinion. It's just plain wrong. Now, effects aren't enough for you, and the list I've just put up isn't exhaustive. There's many more side effects. These are just some of the more common ones and some of the side effects that I've been aware of. But the psychological aspect would really bother me also. As someone who's an ectomorph, who's trained hard for years, I've always trained heavy because that is what my body responds to. You know, that great feeling when you go in the gym and you've been on maybe pressing 50s, you know, you're there pressing 50s, feeling great. Next week you come in and your friend says, no, come on, I'll spot you, we can go 52s, and you get 52s, and you come out and the sense of achievement is overwhelming, you feel great. When you're on steroids, your strength will go through the roof. Now you could be benching 70 while you're on cycle. As soon as you come off cycle, you're not going to be benching that. Now I know people who, they don't even train when they're not on the gear because they feel like crap that they can't do what they used to do when they're on the gear. What they do is they either stop training or they just continue cycling, and the damage they're doing long term, I don't even want to think about it. So that for me would really get me down. Even now I'm fasting a little bit and I'm losing reps, I'm having to drop my weight. That is really messing me up in the gym. So what would that do to me if I was on gear? Not even worth thinking about. Now I've also known so many people come off cycle and depression has hit them. They feel really bad despite the other side effects, the low sex drive, the low self-esteem, the losing of your gains. They just feel depressed. Now there's a massive link between depression and exercise. For me it's always been a very positive link. One of the treatments doctors give and psychiatrists give now for depression is not just they dole out the antidepressants and the sleeping pills, they also tell you to exercise. Now, you know, you go in the gym, we've all been there, we've gone in the gym before, and we're tired, we're like, oh, I can't be asked to be here today. I'm feeling flat. I guarantee after a workout, even if it's a half-hearted workout, you are not feeling like that. You come out the gym, you're feeling good, the car stereo's on full, and that's what it's all about. I'm not going to touch too much on the link between depression and gym and steroid use today because that is a really big topic that I wish to cover in another video. So if you guys are happy with risking the side effects, you've also got to pay for your steroids, and then there is the fact of where do you get your steroids from? How much do you trust your steroid dealer? Do you do what a lot of people do and get them online? Well, let me tell you, a lot of online companies are putting all sorts of shit in their steroids nowadays that is going to do, you know, it's not as advertised, it's going to do you a lot of harm, so be very careful where you buy your gear from. And if you still want to take steroids, then at least you maybe are aware of what can go wrong. Do not trust what people tell you. People are here to make money off you, and they do not care about your health and about your well-being. Apart from me, I care about your health and well-being, which is why I prefer to stay strong, stay big and stay natural. Okay, you don't need steroids. Don't cock your health up. Do this for the right reasons. Do it for your health. Work with your own genetics. I hate these people on YouTube who are clearly on steroids who are saying, oh, it's all about genetics. No, mate, it's about the fact that you're sticking steroids in your system. That is not working with your natural genetics. So, you know, the choice is ultimately yours, but my preference is to stay natural always, and that is what I am passionate about, and that is what I will continue to do. If you do choose to take steroids, make sure you research as properly as you can, and obviously do it under as much supervision from your GP as possible. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching. This is just my personal opinion on why I think you should stay natural. Smash that like button and share this video on social media. It would mean a lot to me if you were to share it, especially if there's anyone you know who loves the gym lifestyle. Share this channel with them, and anyone who you know is considering going to the dark side, please share this video. Maybe it will give somebody food for thought and you know, a second opinion on whether you should be natural or not. Until next time, stay big, stay strong, stay natural. I'm now going to go and eat because I need to pursue my natural gains. Until next time, see you soon. Thank you all for watching. Gains, 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 gains.